You are not alone. Trinity AI. Trinity AI Legal. Trinity AI Helix. Trinity AI Support. Trinity AI Design. Courtesy of White Rabbit Studios.
Submission. A project called Trinity Helix.
Yes, it's quite an interesting one.
Our goal here is to figure out how this project is trying to help people, specifically those in the UK legal system without a lawyer. Litigants in person or lips.
And we've got some documents detailing how they structure their reports and, well, what kinds of reports they're actually making.
What seems really key is how systematic they're being about it.
Exactly. It's not just random information. There's a definite structure.
Okay, so let's get into it. The core seems to be these RAG-focused reports. Now, RAG.
Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Right. Basically, think of reports built specifically so an AI assistant can grab the right answers quickly. Helps you avoid wading through tons of text.
Precisely. It's about making information highly findable, really targeted.
And these specific reports, numbers 9 through 30, they use a pretty detailed structure, something like 10 or 11 sections.
That's right. It's quite thorough. What really jumps out is the user focus. Well, take the domain title, it's clear, like UK Defamation Lachaux Guide. Simple.
Okay, excellent.
But then the target user profile section, it really digs into the specific challenges. For defamation, maybe the huge costs involved if you're in Lachaux. It's very explicit about who it's for and what their likely problems are.
That sounds different from just, standard legal texts. They mentioned something like a 080 philosophy, trying to anticipate user anxieties.
Exactly that. Trying to meet people where they are, often feeling overwhelmed. Then you've got the legal foundation section.
Basics.
Yeah, the essential background.
Yeah.
So for defamation, that'd be the Defamation Act 2013. Maybe the idea of serious harm from the Lachaux case. Basically, key legal rules you need to know.
Setting the scene legally. And
then it gets practical with the common procedural pathway, the typical steps you take.
Like the pre-action protocol for defamation claims. Yeah. Those steps you have to do before court.
Exactly. Super important for anyone thinking about a claim. After that, sections on key forms and documents and key elements.
Okay, so the actual paperwork and what you need to prove.
Pretty much. For defamation, that's the elements of the claim itself and key defenses, truth, honest opinion, things laid out in the act.
So it's breaking it down. But it's not just the law, right? They also look at the stress points.
Yes, that's crucial. High stress user points and common challenges. It acknowledges the real world difficulties.
Like proving serious harm or the risk of those SLAPP suits designed to silence people.
Right. And this is where it gets interesting for the AI side. The next section is potential Baxter interventions.
Baxter being their AI helper.
Yes. So this section asks, how could Baxter actually help here? Maybe offer checklists for that pre-action stuff. Or explain a complex test in simpler terms.
Okay, so really practical, targeted AI help.
And following on from that, known system gaps and Baxter opportunities. Where does the system currently let lips down?
Like, say, no legal aid for many defamation cases.
Exactly. And how can Baxter fill that gap? Maybe by providing really structured information where official help is missing. It's quite strategic.
Identifying problems and positioning the AI to help address them.
And they don't forget external help either. There's a section, Key Legal Aid Support Resources, pointing you to places like Citizens Advice, LawWorks, maybe dispute resolution bodies like IPSO for media issues, though they note MediaWise Trust isn't around anymore.
Good to have signposting. So that's the structure of those main reports. But what about the overall scope?
Well, there are 8 foundational reports for strategy, market analysis, that kind of thing, setting the stage for the project.
Okay.
But the main output seems to be the 17 RRAD reports they've already generated, and they cover quite a range.
Like what sort of areas?
Things that frequently affect lips, family law, like non-molestation orders or sorting out child arrangements, housing issues, possession claims are common, small claims court procedures, even welfare benefits like PIP appeals.
Yeah, those are definitely common issues.
And others too, like understanding the Equality Act, reasonable adjustments, figuring out legal aid eligibility, even the right to protest. It's broad.
Covering a lot of ground people might face alone. And there are more planned.
5 more are planned, including that UK defamation lip guide we talked about, which is, a complex one.
Definitely.
What else? Also, police roles in LibGuide, something on trusts, inheritance and disputes, content creator rights, very current, and UK small business and the law.
So, quite a comprehensive list they're aiming for.
If you step back and look at it all, you see this coherent, really user-focused framework. It's all designed to be, well, RAG optimized.
Ready for the AI?
Yeah, and aimed at helping LIPS handle not just the legal steps, but also the emotional and practical hurdles.
Okay, so the big takeaway here seems to be that Trinity Helix has put a lot of thought into a structured, comprehensive way to get vital info to people navigating the UK legal system by themselves.
Absolutely. I think the detail in this framework shows a real commitment. It's not just information dumping, it's about providing genuinely useful, targeted knowledge for litigants in person.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about the power of structuring information like this. Imagine applying this kind of deep dive approach to knowledge organization in other really complex areas people have to navigate. What else could be made more accessible?
That's a great question.
Something for you to ponder. Thanks for exploring Trinity Helix with us today.
You are not alone. Trinity AI.